NDTV.
Questions first or read the passage first so that, in a sense.
Yeah, okay, that's again a good question. Let me tell you one thing. As far as the RC passages are concerned, some passages are very factual in nature. They have a lot of data given. They're easy to read, and therefore the questions also tend to be very factual in nature, right? What I mean to say is you can actually locate the answer if you reread the passage. This is one category of passages. The other category of passages is those where the passage tends to be a little bit of abstract kind of a passage, and the questions tend to be inferential in nature, and for an inference based question, reading the question first is not going to help much, because you have to read the full passage. You can't search for the answer in these 2 lines. You have to get the gist of the entire passage. So as a strategy, I would suggest that for passages that are factual in nature, reading the questions first would be a very good strategy. But for passages that are inferential in nature, reading the passage first and then moving on to a question would be much more advisable.
I would like to ask about logic. Logic questions generally, some are easy, some are tough, but then you require a lot of time for solving them, and once you can solve the question, you can really, it gets easier to give all the 4 or 5 answers. So is it worth spending that time on solving that one question?
See, again, as far as logic is concerned, in the CAT, there have been 2 types of logic problems. There are some which come as block questions. You have a big set with 3, 4, 5 questions, and there are some questions which come as single questions. For single questions, look at the length of the question. If it's a very long question, in that case, what will happen is that, you will spend a lot of time reading and understanding that long question, and then if you are able to answer it, you'll just be able to answer one question. On the other hand, if there's a set of 3 or 4 questions, even if the actual question set tends to be lengthy, it's worth the time spent, because once you get it, you are able to answer 3 or 4 questions immediately. So again, your strategy would depend on, how many questions are there, what is the length of the original question, and whether it's worth the time spent reading and figuring out what is to be done. And that's how you decide on logic-based question.
Question this side.
So in short, can you just give us a brief and a precise strategy, a CAT strategy, according to how to prepare about all sections and everything?
See, in terms of preparation, as I told you, a lot of areas in CAT, for example, the verbal ability, the reading comprehension, the data interpretation, and the logical reasoning. The concepts aren't too many. There are very few concepts in these sections, so you don't really need to keep on studying again and again. For example, in reading comprehension, what you need to study, or what you need to know rather, is how to read a passage, which is something that at this stage you're already familiar with. There's nothing you can do beyond this, in terms of studying, so it's more of practice. Then there are other areas like math, particularly, where there are a lot of concepts, right, where you can always keep on improving, where your understanding of the concept can keep on improving as you solve more and more questions. So as far as math is concerned, yes, you can spend some more time revising your concepts. As far as English and logic is concerned, I would suggest good quality practice should do the trick. Just be sure you're regular and see what is working out for you and see what's wrong, and then you can take off.